Okay. It looks like we're live. Yes. Hey, everybody. Welcome. It's great to have you here on this rather sweltering, perhaps, Wednesday morning. It's 11:19. I usually don't start until after 12 my time, but hey, we're switching things up today. A little earlier. My goal is to eventually go all the way back around. Earlier and earlier until it becomes late again. My name's Luke. I will be your teacher for today's live class. As I said, it's great to have you here. If you want to support the channel, hit the like button, subscribe right at the start. That helps out considerably. And what are we doing? Let's go through the agenda. Well, I'm going to be sharing some topics on our topic for today, which is dreams. We're going to be talking a bit about the different ways that we use that word, which I think is interesting. There's some exploration to be had there. And also we're going to talk about how we talk about our dreams, in particular the ones that suggest something about the future and something we aspire to. How do we talk about that? How do we talk about things that we wish or would like to have happen in the future? And we have some other things too. I'd like to talk about pronunciation a little bit. I found something very interesting that I'd like to share about pronunciation, and that's going to be hopefully extremely exciting. So, a lot of things. Of course, if you have questions, idioms, phrases, grammar, pronunciation, movie recommendations, ask away. Ask away. I will do my best to answer your questions, and if I can't, then I'm so sorry. But I can only do my best, and I will do that. What will I do? I will do my best. Oh, okay. So, again, excited to talk about all of the stuff we have coming up. In the category of personal updates, do I have anything happening? Is there anything going on this week? Well, I'm working very hard on a new course. I thought I was going to be done a little faster, but I think it's going to be out pretty soon. So to those who have been enjoying the How to Improve Your English and Correct Mistakes course, great, awesome. Hope you're enjoying that, or did enjoy it. There's a travel course coming out early next month. It could be around the 7th, maybe. It's going to be all about travel situations and how to handle those in English. All kinds of different situations, including stuff that happens on the flight or on the plane, or once you get to a destination, dealing with problems, getting lost, getting recommendations, asking for help, giving help, starting conversations with people you meet, planning for the trip. All of that stuff will be in that course. And I think it's going to be pretty comprehensive and should be pretty interesting. So very excited. That will be available wherever courses are sold. Yes, it will be available on Udemy. I don't know if you know this, but Udemy is currently, I don't know when you're watching this, August 31st, Udemy is currently doing a site-wide sale. So in addition to my courses, all courses are on sale. They do 2 or 3 very big sales per year. For the whole year, they might do 2 or 3. One is in November for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. That's the biggest sale of the year. They usually do a sale at the very beginning of the year. It's not as big, but it's a reasonably sized sale. And then they do one that's around the sort of back to school time period, which is now. So there's a site-wide sale happening. If you want to pick up my courses on Udemy instead of my website, you can do that. but do it within the next 24 hours. That's all I can say. But I have one request. If you get the courses on Udemy, go to the website in the link in the description, cloudenglish.net first. Why? Because if it comes through there, you're still going to go over to Udemy. But if it comes through there, then I get credit for that, right? So it helps me if you go that way through all the courses. Click on the links from there and then open up all the pages. That would be wonderful. That would be fantastic. Okay, see, we have some people joining. Great to have you again. From Thailand, KWS, Silcast, my dream. I want to meet you one day and practice my English skills. Okay, there you go. Thank you. Appreciate that. I'm cool with that. Can you please tell me what does Flunk mean and how can I use it? It's a good question. Silcast, I already follow you. Oh, whoa. Silcast is a unknown entity. Let's see. I'm just searching. Ah, okay. Cool. British accent, British English. I'm just checking out your channel, Silcast. Sylvia Broadcast. Okay, cool. So we're in the same business, it looks like. Awesome. Good for you. Cockney accent, British accent. I could probably learn a thing or two from Sylvia. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it. I thank you. You're still good as an angel as well. You have a heart of gold. That I can confirm that I do not have. I do not have a heart of gold. My heart is as black as coal. Trust me. Everyone who meets me says it. Well, sir, you have a black heart. You're nice guy, but a black heart, unfortunately. Warm regards from Mexico, says Estudios Técnicos. Luke, you share some phrasal verbs about vision, things we want to become in reality. I'll have to think about that one. That's a good one. All right, a lot of people joining. Fantastic, amazing, wonderful. I think we can jump into a couple questions and then hop into the first topic I have planned. We're going to be talking about dreaming. And if you have questions that as we go along, I'll check those after we go through the first topic. So let's answer this question here. Hi, can you please tell me what does flunk mean and how can I use it? Since this is a request, I would phrase this as, can you please tell me what flunk means and how I can use it? Okay. Anyway, that's beside the point. So flunk simply means fail in relation to education and once in a while life in general. But usually it's associated with formal education. And it's about failing. So if you fail in life, that's kind of an abstract thing. You can be a failure. You can be broke. You can have no money. You can try something and then it doesn't work. And you say, I failed. I blew it. Well, you can say that. That's fine. But don't say flunk for that sort of situation. Flunk is used when we're talking about generally not primary school. I've never heard of anyone flunking primary school. It's probably happened in the past. But let's say, especially high school and university. So you're going to school and you get grades in school. And those grades will tell you how well you're doing. And so you might get a C in one class and a B and an A, and so you're doing okay. But if you get a lot of D's and F's, then you're not doing very well, right? you're not getting what's called passing grades. Well, what does it mean to pass? To pass means that you get to go on to the next thing. You get to move on from this class. You get to, if you're in your third year, you get to go to your fourth year, and so on. Okay, so the opposite of that would be failing or flunking. So you don't try, you don't apply yourself, or you don't have what it takes to do well in school. So you say, I flunked 11th grade. I flunked 11th grade. So if you did that, that's an action that you take, but it's not an action that maybe it's not necessarily a deliberate action, right? Because when we say I failed, it's the same thing. It's not a deliberate action. I flunked. Well, I tried, but I still flunked. So often we're not trying to flunk, but it happens, and we describe it happening with the word flunk. And that often means repeating that grade. So Eddie Munson from Stranger Things, he flunked, I believe, 12th grade 3 or 4 times. So in the show, the most recent season, season 4 of Stranger Things, he's, I think, 21 years old, and everyone else is 17 and 18 because he has flunked 12th grade several times. And he says, this year is going to be the year. Now, sometimes this is used with the word out following flunk, to flunk out of school or to flunk out of college. I flunked out of college in my 3rd year. That means you're doing so badly that you just give up, or you can't progress any further. Maybe you're not allowed to progress, or maybe you decide, this is not for me, I can't even do it. I'm doing so poorly that I'm just going to quit. Now, in the United States, there are a lot of rules about this. You're not allowed to flunk out, I think, of middle school, but once you reach, I think it's age 16, if you're doing very badly and you leave school, you're allowed to do that legally. You're allowed to actually quit high school. I don't think after age 16 there are laws requiring you to stay. But in middle school, it's illegal to not go to school. I think that's right. So flunking out would be completely leaving school because you're doing so badly. If you want to talk about a specific class, maybe you're doing fine in all of your classes except one, then you would say that one. I flunked geometry class this year. Ugh, that sounds terrible. My recurring nightmare that I have, recurring means it regularly happens, is that I'm in high school and graduation is near and I'm doing great. And then I suddenly realize 2 days before graduation, before the big final exams, that I have completely forgot about math class for the last 6 months or something. And suddenly I just realize I'm going to flunk math. Why? Because I completely forgot to go for 6 months. And there's a big exam coming up and there's no way I'll be prepared for it. I don't know why. If someone wants to analyze that for me, I would appreciate it. But I have that recurring nightmare. Less often these days, but especially when I was younger, I used to have that dream a lot. Anyway, that is how you use flunk. It is common specifically in education situations and not very common outside, although sometimes you'll hear the word flunky to describe a failure, but it's not that common. Okay. Mr. Respectful from Saudi Arabia, welcome. Welcome. Good to have you. Doan is here. You must be kidding. According to your charisma, you are kind. Okay, maybe I'm kidding. Who am I to say? Thank you very much, MD Mahim. I appreciate that. Abdul Malik says, could please tell you how I use the phrase cutthroat, burning the midnight oil, ahead of the pack? Frankly speaking, I think they are idiomatic expressions. Okay, that might be a few too many to cover. That might take a bit too much time, but I might be able to pick out 1 or 2 of those to go over in a bit. But first, Another word for flunk would probably be fail. But fail is a broader word that can be used in more situations than education specifically. So you can fail high school, you can fail geometry class, but you can also fail to meet your quota at work. You can fail as a parent. You can fail to learn how to ride a unicycle, but you can't flunk learning to ride a unicycle. You can fail, but you can't flunk. So flunking is a more specific word that means fail. Pretty simple, I think. Poké. Antonio, thank you. Welcome. Great to have you. Guys, if you're just joining, we're going to be talking about dreams a bit today, and so questions around that or anything else are welcome. We're also going to be talking about pronunciation a little bit. So if you guys like, you can hit the like button, subscribe, most appreciated. Okay. Let me whip out the old blackboard, the old pen and board, because I need it. Hello, Taha. Taha. Good to have you. All right. Sorry, I'm just getting set up with my thing here. The word dream is an interesting one because it can be used in different ways. It has a lot of different meanings and uses. We're familiar with the idea of a dream when we're sleeping, but then we can also have a dream in life. My dream to someday go to the moon. That is one of my dreams. But there are other ways to use it, and it can get a little fuzzy, a little blurry. So I think the best thing to do is explore this word in its different uses on the old blackboard. So let's talk about this in context. When I talk about words, I like to make sure that they're learned in sentences, in context. It's very bad to learn words in isolation. So we're going to pick this out, gain an understanding of it through real sentences. Because again, that is, in my view, the only way to do it. So I think the first one will be very easy for you. The first couple might be very easy. But again, we really just need to gain a deep understanding. I had a crazy dream last night. I was being chased by hundreds of gobbling turkeys. Sometimes I question why I come up with such ridiculous examples. But this is a common beginning. Put aside the turkey thing. I had a crazy dream last night. I had a terrible dream last night. I had a wonderful dream last night. I had an interesting dream last night. This is what you would say before you relate or share something that you dreamed about. I had a terrible dream last night. Oh, really? Tell me about it, says your friend. Well, I was walking in the forest and then suddenly I heard and then hundreds of gobbling turkeys started chasing me, and they chased me off a cliff, and I fell down, and then I stood up and my teeth started falling out, and it was a nightmare. So bad dream would be the same as a nightmare. And that is the first thing we think about when we hear the word dream. And in that sense, it's very simple. Now, this word can be used as a noun or a verb. You can say, I dreamed that, or I dreamed about, and that would be using it as a verb, or I had an interesting dream. Noun or verb, very common. And in fact, the two most common meanings of this are going to be able to be used as a noun or verb, although for the second one, much more common as a noun. So there's an interesting difference there. So we need to explore that. Okay. So I dreamed that, and I dreamed about? Tell me about your dream. Okay, well, I dreamed that I was, and then you would begin and tell the story. You can also, by the way, if you want to talk about dreams, you can sometimes share them in the first person. In my dream, I'm sitting next to an old woman who has glowing red eyes and smells like white truffles. That's never happened. Can you smell things in dreams? I can't recall any specific smells in dreams. You can hear, you can see, and you can feel in dreams. But can you smell? I don't know. My dream is to someday live on the moon. Now, this one, totally different. This is similar to, and would be the same as, aspire. I aspire to someday live on the moon. I hope to someday live on the moon. Now, these are using them as verbs, but my dream is something that you would answer as a kid when an adult asks you what you want in life. What's your dream? My dream is to... Now, if you want to, you can say it like this. I aspire, I hope. You can say, I dream to someday live on the moon. Okay, but I want to mention this. I dreamed that and I had a crazy dream. These are, I would say, close to equally common. But this one is not. I dream to talk about your aspirations. The noun form of this is aspiration. Is for the verb form far less common. Far less common. I dream to live on the moon. Sounds like you're 19th century guy talking about, in the mirror, talking to yourself and trying to, give yourself a little pep talk. It's weird. It's a little weird. It's not very common. I recommend my dream is very simple structure. My dream is to what? Someday. That's a great one to add after to, because we don't know when it's going to happen. But if you want to take that out, you can. My dream is to visit. My dream is to meet. My dream is to live. My dream is to have. My dream is to see. Something like that. Usually a simple verb following my dream is to. Now, it gets a little more interesting here with other ways to use it. And we're going to explore that a bit because I think that's more interesting. Because most people, I think, know these two and how to use them. They're pretty simple. Your plan to conquer the moon is a bit of a dream. Yeah, it's my dream. No. That's not what it means when I say is a bit of a dream. You have to understand the context of that and the way that it's phrased, especially a bit of a dream. Now, sometimes you'll hear pipe dream, but a bit of a dream is saying that it's not realistic. It's unrealistic, your dream. I don't think it's going to happen. I think you're living a bit too much inside your own head. And if you think that this is actually a dream that you can achieve, you're insane. You're nuts. I just wanted to let you know that you're clinically insane if you think this is going to happen, right? A bit of a dream is a very gentle way to put that. It's very gentle. It's not very direct. Now, do you have to say a bit of a dream? You could say a bit of, you could say kind of. That just makes it softer. If you want to be more direct and you just say, your plan to conquer the moon is a dream, it still has the same meaning, usually. I'm not telling you what your dream is, so the context would be, I'm only saying this to tell you that what your dream is not very realistic. So technically, the grammar could mean that I'm telling you what you aspire to, but in real life, in the context, that's not what it is. Because I could say, and this would be a fine sentence, your dream to conquer the moon is a bit of a dream. Aren't you saying the same thing twice? No. Your dream to conquer the moon, your plan to conquer the moon, is a bit of an unrealistic thing that you have in your head, which you may want to reconsider. Okay? You're living in a dream world is the same basic thing, but it's focusing on the fact that your whole reality in your head as you move through life is unrealistic. You need to figure out how to live in the real world. This is pretty much always a criticism. Is there any difference between these two? Well, I think this one is more specific, a thing that you say. Maybe otherwise you're a totally reasonable, rational person. But in this specific case, I think that it's not very realistic. So you're living in a dream. I could say you're living in a dream world there. It's fine. But this suggests usually when we use it like this, sometimes it's written as 2 words, sometimes 1. Usually it's suggesting that there's a broader issue with your grasp of reality. Your grasp of reality is not great. You have a lot of fantasies, a lot of things that you think will come true or may come true, and there's not a lot of foundation in the real world, and I'm maybe trying to help bring you back down to earth. Okay? So these are all pretty common, but of course, the first 2 are quite a bit more common, and usually the meanings that we think of immediately when we hear the word dream. Now, I want to bring up one simple phrase before we look at a few other use cases of this, and that is a common sentence. It's only a dream. It's only a dream. Perhaps sometimes here we could replace this with just. I don't know why I'm writing just like that. It's a weird J. Stop it, J. It's only a dream. It's just a dream. We would use this in 2 cases for both meanings. Well, 2 cases, 1 for each meaning. Let me say it like that. Someone has had a nightmare. Maybe your spouse, husband or wife, and they wake up in a cold sweat and they're breathing heavy. I'm being chased by turkeys. No. I'm being chased by turkeys. They're chasing me off a cliff. And they wake up and they're kind of, they've lost their sense of surroundings, right? They think they're still dreaming. And the other person, you, comforting your spouse. It's okay. It's okay. Everything's fine. It's only a dream. It's only a dream. It's just a dream. So this is making sure that the idea that it's a dream, it's not real, is downplaying the dream. Dreams are not real. Dreams happen in your head. You're not really being chased by turkeys. And it can be a good way to calm people down in that situation. One time, I remember it very clearly, I dreamed, in my dream, that I looked up from my bed. So in my dream, I believed I was looking up to the edge of my bed. Crouching down at the end of my bed, I'm getting tingles just thinking about it, was a hunched figure. I couldn't see the face. I couldn't see the hands. It was just a shadowy figure hunched over my bed, looking at me with a creepy expression. I could see the mouth and the eyes looking at me, maybe glowing eyes. I don't remember. And I started saying, "This is a guy. This is a person. Is it?" in my sleep, I was saying that, panicking, thinking that I was about to be attacked. And then I woke up for real. So I did, in my dream, I sat up, but I was still dreaming when I sat up. So I saw that person at the end of my bed, and then I slowly realized that I was sitting up, but then the dream went away, and I realized that there was nobody there. And I think my wife said, "It's just a dream. It's only a dream." But that was terrifying. That was a long time ago, maybe 7 or 8 years ago. Anyway, just an aside. The other way that we use this is to downplay our own aspirations. I want to live on the moon someday, but it's just a dream. It's only a dream. That means maybe it'll happen, maybe not. I might want to communicate with that I know it's not realistic. I realize it's kind of crazy. And I accept that it may not come true. It's only a dream. It's just a dream. And someone else could say that to me as well. It's just a dream. It's probably not going to happen. But I might equally say that to myself or describe my aspiration to live on the moon with hundreds of turkeys as just a dream. Now, finally, I just want to wrap things up with a few other uses. I never dreamed we would end up having 12 kids. It was a dream come true to meet her in person. My dream house would have a Japanese garden, and this should have a period at the end of it. Okay, so we're using this in a few ways. Here, I never dreamed. That means it did happen. It happened. But the thing that happened goes against what I imagined previously. You hear people who have achieved amazing success say things like this. They've gone from living on the street to maybe becoming a famous actor or actress, and they really didn't think that would happen. I never dreamed that this would have happened to me. So usually that's a positive thing. It could be used negatively when something horrible happens. You didn't imagine that horrible thing would happen, but it did happen, and then you say, I never dreamed something this terrible would happen to me. My sense is that this is used much more often to talk about positive things, unexpected life events that happen, which we did not anticipate before they happened, which we then look back on and reflect positively and think, wow, how did I get here? This is crazy. I have 12 kids. I thought I was going to have one. I never imagined that. It's similar to saying I never imagined I would end up having 12 kids, which means I do have 12 kids. It was a dream come true. Very common expression here. Pay attention to that one. This is something that happened that you always wanted to happen, and then it did happen. If you want to make this hypothetical, then you could say it would be a dream come true to meet her in person. Maybe there's some person you idolize, a singer or someone like that, and you say it would be a dream come true to meet her in person. Or it would be a dream come true to see her in concert, right? I think one time I heard my father say it would be a dream come true to see Ringo Starr play live. He's one of the living Beatles remaining. There are two, Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr. And I don't know if he actually went, but there was a concert happening and he was thinking about buying tickets to see Ringo Starr play live. And he said it would be a dream come true. And if you did that thing, then you can say it was a dream come true. Very common. My dream house. Now notice this dream is being used as an adjective. This is the thing that lives in your imagination, the perfect object in your imagination, the perfect thing in your mind, whether it's a house or a job or a life or a family, whatever it is, right? Or a retirement. My dream retirement, my dream house. You don't have the house. It's not real. It's in your imagination. Maybe it will become real, maybe not. My dream house would have a Japanese garden. Maybe you like how they rake the stones and the sand and the stacks. I don't know that much about Japanese gardens, but it looks nice. And you want to describe your dream house. My dream house would be, it would be hot pink and have a Japanese garden and be surrounded by hundreds of turkeys. Okay, so that's an adjective to make sure that people know that it's not real. Hopefully now, the word dream and its many uses are much more clear to you. It's a little fuzzy. It can be a little confusing. The best thing to do anytime you want to deeply understand something is to look at examples. How is it being used in these sentences? How is it being used by native English speakers who are using this word in these sentences? Pay attention, listen, and always practice your own examples so that you can actually use it when you're in a situation when you would like to use it, okay? If you have any questions about this, let me know. And if you haven't already done so, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Okay? All of us are going to have a dream we're being chased by turkeys because Thanksgiving is coming. If I that would be a dream come true for me if all of you tonight, when you go to bed, dream that you're being chased by turkeys, that you will say, damn, that Luke guy, he planted the dream. That would be so hilarious. It would be a major achievement for me if I can make that happen. Tonight, you'll dream that you're being chased by turkeys. I just made it happen. Enjoy. I don't know how can you intentionally influence what you dream about? Does anyone have any ideas? Sometimes I get confused a lot. Using have and has can be very confusing. Yes. But the simple way to think of it is subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement. That's a good question, though. Ray Lopez Marquez, hello, welcome. You wish me luck, thank you. I want to live my American dream. Good luck with that. I hope it goes well. Dream about it. Corinne, hello. Corinne Perrier. This is not Perrier. It's just regular old water. That not bad with the green screen. My dream is to live in New York. New York is a very cool place to live. I recommend it. It's nice. Are you sure they weren't Turkish? No turkeys, thousands of them. How would you know if you were being chased specifically by Turkish people? I suppose if you dreamed about going to Turkey, then yeah, that makes sense. My dream house would be on the moon with enough space for 12 kids and hundreds of turkeys. This is brilliant. Raphael, I love that. My dream house would be on the moon with enough space for 12 kids and hundreds of turkeys. Well done. Very nice. I like it. I dreamed about her last night, but in fact, I never talked to her before. Okay. All right. That sounds interesting. Trying to think of an interesting dream I had recently that I could share, but nothing is immediately popping to mind. I mean, I've had some dreams, but they're a little personal. I mean, dreams are personal, right? So my great wish is to become a data science expert. Nice. Estudios Técnicos. Well, with a name like that, how can you fail? Surely you will succeed. So if you guys have questions, thank you for joining, by the way. If you have any questions about pronunciation or idioms or culture or grammar or anything, feel free to ask. I want to answer the has-have question here, but feel free to ask questions. Interesting ones are better than boring ones. We are still going to get to some common expressions and pronunciation. I have a few things to share. I am going to take a quick water break, though, because my throat sometimes gets a bit scratchy. So why don't we take a quick water break? What I like to do when I take a short break is show some TikToks. I don't think I showed this guy. It has a new one. Brian Jordan Alvarez. Let's check out some new ones from him. This guy does a lot of impressions. His name is Brian Jordan Alvarez. And he does amazing impressions. My favorite one is the Australian gym guy. He uses a lot of different faces. So this is what accent talent looks like. I think he's probably one of the best at doing realistic characters with different accents.
It's so funny to me when I'm, the age I am and I still get bored. And I think, well, don't I
This is a southern accent.
have too much to do? Don't I have all this stuff to do? Why would I ever be bored? But boredom is just a part of life. And really, I've tried to remind myself occasionally that it's a luxury.
But I like this one, the gym guy.
Guys, some of the guys I lift with really don't understand my graduate studies. They don't understand why I would go back to school. And I've got to tell you, it's because I believe in lifting lots of different kinds of heaps, and heaps of knowledge are my favorite type. Okay, so when you've got a dumbbell in your hand and you're lifting, that builds muscle. But when you've got a great book in your hand, or even a textbook, that is lifting and building a muscle in your mind.
Right. His Australian accent is is awesome. It's a great Australian accent. It's very kind of it's very relaxed and natural. A lot of accents I think have fake accents that people put on that you can tell, right? But he's got a sort of naturalness when he does his different accents.
People do not understand that I am completely willing to open restaurants in the most rat-infested parts of New York City. They think that I am going to be put off because of the situation on the streets and in the sidewalk, but the fact is that I am encouraged by these environments because my restaurant will be a shining beacon of delicious garlic and onion food in a perfectly clean A+ cleanliness environment that can be checked by the FDA at any given time. And we will not have rats or cockroaches inside the restaurant. We will only have garlic and onion and sometimes fish. And you can take your fish oil pills too, but we're going to put fish oil on the fish as well because that is good for your heart. Do not ever think that there is a block on New York City that I cannot open a restaurant in. I am not going to tell you where I am opening the restaurant in New York City. I'm going to open it in a very specific block, and it is going to be a pop-up secret restaurant. And I'm not talking about one of these DoorDash ghost kitchen restaurants. I'm talking about literally a delicious restaurant, but you have to stumble into it or know somebody who knows somebody. I don't want to keep a secret, but this is a good one. Garlic and onion for life. People do not understand.
Well, that was intense. That's insane. How does he talk that fast? It doesn't seem possible. That is an awesome one. How does this only have 65,000 plays? That's crazy.
Guys, I'm out in nature. I didn't know this until recently. Sorry, I've got coffee on my lips. I didn't know this until recently, but mosquitoes.
No, this.
First of all, they're having a big hatching here, something like we've never seen in years. But I didn't know this. Mosquitoes are especially attracted to really muscular weightlifters. And I don't want to toot my own horn, but I am a really muscular weightlifter. So.
Any other good characters that he does? This, I think, is an angry housewife, maybe?
Interscope record call. They call me on my line this morning. Of course, my husband and I share a phone. And so I don't have to tell all of you that one of the greatest songs ever written since a band known as The Beatles was written yesterday when I took my husband to the water, the crystal blue water.
He's good at doing non-native English-speaking accents. All right, anyway. Good water break. Brian Jordan Alvarez. Genius. Deserves more. I mean, he's got a fair amount of 13 million likes, 380,000 followers. But I'm surprised that these videos don't have more views. Anyway. All right. Back to the stuff, shall we? Back to the pronunciation, maybe? Pronunciation time. Oh, no, I said I was going to answer the have-has question, right? All right. Raphael says, I've been dreaming with about, it should be about, an ex-girlfriend of mine who I broke up with almost a decade ago. The funny thing is that I don't even think of her when I'm awake. That doesn't make any sense. That is interesting, unusual. Yes. What does the viewer gain from all this? I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. All right. I want to answer one question that I saw about have and has, and then we're going to talk about pronunciation. Karina says, have any of your dreams come true? Yeah, I think a lot of my dreams have come true. Quite a few of them. Have any of yours come true? I hope so. Okay, where is that question about have and has? I can't find it. Let's see. If I can't find it, how can I answer it? Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Ask that question again, and I will get to it. Okay? I recently discovered that Google has a tool for giving pronunciation feedback. Now, this is something that you can find in a few different apps, like Elsa Speak. You may have seen my video on that one, which is pretty good. But Google is now entering this territory of pronunciation feedback. Did you say something correctly? And how could you say it more clearly? Now, we're going to take a look at it and see how well it works. But I think the interesting thing is it's a lot easier to search stuff in Google than it is to open an app and do an exercise. So if they can get it totally right, then you're a search away from knowing exactly how to say anything, being able to hear it and practice it and get feedback on it instantly. Is that going to replace pronunciation teachers? I don't know. It might. And we'll see how good it is. We're going to test it out. But the potential of it, I think, is fascinating. So let's hop over to Google. You may have heard of it. And we're just going to search a couple of words. So let's start with kernel is how it's pronounced, but it looks weird, so we might be confused about that. And here's what we search. How to pronounce kernel. All right. Now, you can search in English, but just how to pronounce, and then the word. Search. Okay, so then they provide this little window at the top of the results. Of course, they're biasing their own results. You can see videos below, but we're really testing out this feature. So let's listen first.
Kernel.
Okay, that's a little fast.
Kernel.
It's a little fast. Let me turn it up a bit.
Kernel.
Okay. Slow it down.
Kernel.
Kernel. So you listen to it a few times.
Kernel. Kernel. Kernel.
And then practice it as you listen. Kernel.
Kernel.
Kernel. Okay. Now, how do I know if I'm correct? Well, one thing you can do is just develop your listening so that you can hear the difference, and that's a very powerful thing. That's what I recommend. But hey, let's this is what we're here for. Let's try the practice button. Click practice. Kernel. Oh, I didn't speak quickly enough. Kernel. Ah, I said, instead of, I made a mistake on purpose. I said kernel instead of kernel, and it caught it. That's very interesting. Sounds like what you said.
Kernel. Kernel.
Kernel. Okay, that's wrong, and they're telling me what's wrong. Try to say na instead of ma. They heard the phoneme, the sounds. Very interesting. How to improve. And then they give the description. Make sure your lips aren't closed. Try to touch your tongue just behind your top teeth and release air through your nose. That's a pretty good explanation. That's right. When you say you close your mouth. When you say you let the air come out of your nose and you block it with your tongue. Touch your tongue just behind your top teeth. That's really cool. That's really cool. Well, I did not expect it to be that good. Let's try another one. Let's try another. I'm very curious about this. Okay, I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. Okay. Let's try how to pronounce. Oh, they give us some recommendations of maybe words that are hard for people to say. I'm going to go with this one. Okay, predictive search. All right, click on that. Okay. Now, I personally don't find the visual very useful, right? This, aesthetic. This is better than the phonetic symbols that people use. Stay away from that. But I don't know. It's not that useful to me. The useful part about it is that it tells you where the syllable breaks are. These dots are the syllable breaks. So this tells you that this is a 1, 2, 3 syllable word. Okay, so let's listen.
Aesthetic.
Aesthetic. Oh, it's pretty slow. I mean, pretty fast. Too fast.
Aesthetic.
Aesthetic. Slow it down. Now I'm going to repeat each time I hear it.
Aesthetic.
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 Aesthetic. All right. I practiced it a few times. I think I've got it. Now let me practice. I want to see what happens if I say it perfectly. Will it come up with a mistake? Or will it say, you did it. Great job. Fantastic. That's perfect. No changes required. We know that it corrects things that are wrong. I said kernel, and it caught that. So let's try this. Aesthetic. Try to say the instead of ta. Okay, so it thought I said aesthetic. Maybe my TH was a little hard, so I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. That's a reasonable one. I'm going to emphasize the softness of the TH this time. Aesthetic. Okay, now it thinks I need to say instead of ass. That's interesting because I did say more of an aesthetic instead of an aesthetic. Now, I think it's up for debate. They have an us sound here. Maybe I'm used to saying this word as aesthetic instead of aesthetic, but they want me to say aesthetic as a schwa sound. So, all right. Okay, I'm learning a lot here. Thank you. Thank you, Google. Thank you, Master Google. Aesthetic. Oh, come on. You may have mispronounced how to improve. Are you serious? Make sure your tongue is on the bottom of your mouth as you make a very short sound. Okay. They really want me to hit the aesthetic. That sounds weird to me. Google, I don't know about this. Aesthetic. Oh, come on. You may have missed in us. What more do you want from me? Oh, maybe I think the audio didn't catch my Maybe it was not recording when I said that. Aesthetic. Come on, you may have mispronounced. Oh, why does it think I can't say this? Aesthetic. Hey, that one I did. Perfect. Was the same as the others, but fine. Yes. All right. Well, actually, that's really interesting feedback. That's pretty cool. That is really cool. I have to say, it's pretty accurate, and the fact that Google's doing it should terrify any apps out there, because once Google starts doing something, they can train their data laser beams at it, and they have more data than anybody, so other apps may be in trouble, because this is pretty good. All right, well, let's try one more. I'm learning a lot here. Let's try a word that has let's call it odd spelling. All right. I know my zooming is all over the place here, but I want to make sure my zoom is not messed up. Okay. Let's do how to pronounce, and then let's do this word, which is very weird. Quin. Love that predictive search. Thank you very much. All right. Oh, and also, I can try the British pronunciation. Let's give me a little challenge. 2 syllables, phonetic spelling, quinoa. So the pronunciation is a lot simpler than the spelling. Interesting. Here we go.
Quinoa. Quinoa. Quinoa.
Slower. Slow it down. And repeat after each one. Do a bit of shadowing.
Quinoa.
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 Quinoa. Okay. Now I'm going to do... Hey. No practice? Maybe you can... Maybe you can only practice American English. That's a win for America. Yes. We did it. American English is better than British English. We win. You lose. So sorry. You can only practice American English. I think that's fantastic. I support Google in this decision. American English is better than British English. British English is outdated and is going the way of the dodo. We did it. Big win. So you can only practice American English. That's fantastic. All right. Let's practice. Now I'm going to deliberately make a mistake where I'm going to say, instead of quinoa, I'm going to make 2 mistakes. I'm going to flip, just for fun. I'm going to give it a challenge. See if it can catch this. 2 mistakes. I'm going to say ween ka instead of quinoa. I'm going to say ween ka. Okay? Just switching the K and the W. All right. Here we go. Ween ka. Ween ka. I got what I said. It thinks I said that. Try to say ki instead of we. Try to say wa instead of ka. This is so cool. This is amazing. All pronunciation teachers are about to go out of business, including me. Fantastic. Try to bring the back of... I'm celebrating the end of my career. Very cool. Okay, try to bring the back of your tongue to the roof of your mouth to block the air, then release it. Call, cares, coke, cord, instead of wall, wears, woke, ward.
Call, wall.
Call, wall.
Cares, wears.
Cares, wears.
Coke, woke.
Coke, woke. Oh, very cool. Okay, well, let's do it the right way then. Thank you, Google. Thank you, thank you. Quinoa. What? I may have mispronounced K. Give me a break. That was the mother of all Ks. That was the best K I've ever had.
Kiss.
Kiss.
Came.
Came.
Success.
Success. That's not a K sound. Well, it is, but it's a little different. But it does say I did better. It's giving me a better. Oops. Yikes. I accidentally said a whole thing. It said I did better. That's nice. A little push in the right direction. Thank you, Google. Quinoa. Hit that K sound. Hey, I did it. Quinoa. Quinoa. So, there you have it. This is both terrifying and very exciting. That you can, instead of just Googling how to pronounce something and find a video, hopefully maybe of someone speaking it, and try to listen to what they're saying and copy it, you can just Google any word that you're not sure about, hear the sound in British and American English, hear it slower, repeat after the sound to shadow it, to develop your listening, and then, with that practice function, get real-time, accurate, amazingly accurate feedback. That was the part I was most skeptical about. I thought, all right, we're going to try this and it's going to be goofy and it won't understand. It won't be able to correct two things at once. But wow, that was very impressive. And I'm sure it will only get better with time. So if you want to learn specific word pronunciation, I honestly can't think of a better place to go right now than this tool. Now, is that going to make you natural and fluent automatically? Probably not. So this would be paired with something that maybe teaches you the method or the structure or how to put words together in sentences. And that's what kind of makes it scary, because this is automation replacing certain aspects of teaching. But at the same time, it's so cool. So give it a try. Let me know how it goes, and I would really love to hear which words you tried and how it got corrected by Google. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Thanks, Antonio. Appreciate it. That's just Google. It's just searching Google. Yeah, Google. I didn't know that quinoa sounds like a Japanese word in English. Well, there you go. The other word I had that I didn't search was anemone. I didn't do that one. Oh, maybe we should do that quickly. Why not? Let's just do one more quickly. One more word for fun. Not that. Okay. How to pronounce. Okay. Phonetic spelling. Ne, m, ni. Ne, m, ni. Okay, let's listen. No, I don't want to practice yet. What am I doing? I want to listen to it. I want to hear it. Hey, what's up with my mouse? Hold on a second. My mouse is behaving strangely, which is odd. Mouse, what is wrong? Why are you behaving this way? Hold on, I need to restart my trackpad thing. Now I can't do anything. Okay, okay, there we go. Got it back. Heyo. All right, let's listen.
Anemone.
Anemone. Slow it down.
Anemone.
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 Anemone. Anemone. I said N. You may have mispronounced N. Yeah, I know how to make the N sound. Thank you very much. Anemone. Come on, I'm saying the N very clearly. Anemone. Anemone. Hey, there we go. I got it. I got it. I don't know why I was mishearing my N. I thought my N was very clear. Perfect. The model N. One of the best N's. Got one of the best N's in the game. All right. We're going to talk about some phrases for aspirations and goals. So give me 1 second while I have to erase the last thing we had there. Okay. By the way, for those just joining, welcome. Great to have you. If you haven't already done so, would appreciate if you could hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. That's a great way to support the channel. It's a simple click, but it really helps out a lot. Also, feel free to check out my courses and the links in the description. Depending on when you're watching this, if you're watching it later, it might not be relevant, but those watching now, you can check out my courses on Udemy at a big discount. They're doing a very big sale happening right now. So go to cloudenglish.net. You can find that link in the description, and you can check out all the courses from there. But if you do that, follow the links from the website. Click on each of them that you're interested in from cloudenglish.net. That would be awesome. Much appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Where's my board? My board. There are many ways to talk about what we would like to be true. Maybe we can call these desires, whether we're talking about something in the future or something now. What I'd like to do is explore some of the most common phrases that we might use to talk about what we want next year, what we want in 20 years, what we would like to be true now that is not true. And it can get a little complicated, so I think the best thing to do is explore some examples. So let's hop over to the board. I'm going to be talking about desires, things we desire. And probably the most common, well, I don't want to say the most common. They're all common, to be honest, but we'll explore the nuances. One of the most common is I'd love Or you can use like if you want to make it less strong, to. And there we might say something like, I'd love to get a bigger place. I'd like to get a bigger place. So this one is going to be stronger than this one. This one is going to be a little weaker, but it's still good. It just doesn't have as much emphasis. Now, the key for this one is that this I'd is a contraction of I and would suggests a hypothetical. That means it's not real. This is just something that I wish were true. It's not true. Maybe it will become true, maybe not. But maybe I live in an apartment. I'm not happy with how small it is. It's a studio apartment. I would love to get a one-bedroom or a two-bedroom apartment. Now, I said I would there, and that's fine. If you want to say I would love, I would like, then either one is okay. Personally, I use both, so I really don't think it matters. And then you just state the desire. Again, this could be, I'd love to go on vacation next year. About the future, may or may not happen. Maybe it will. Maybe we're sure it will happen, or almost sure. If it's certain, you'll probably say instead, I will go on vacation. I'm going on vacation next year to Colorado. If it's a little bit uncertain or just a hypothetical about the future, we can still use I would and I'd. And it can be about the present too, something you wish were different now. I'd like to live in a bigger apartment. I wish my current apartment were bigger. Sort of like that. Or I wish that the apartment that I lived in was bigger than the one that I am in. So that's not necessarily about the future. How about it would be great? And then you can use here a to or an if. These are the most common. So that would be another hypothetical. We could again be talking about the future or another version of the present that lives in the imagination. It would be great. It would be great to have a new car. It would be great if you would help me more often around the house. So it would be great to do something, or it would be great if something happened. If it's tomorrow, it would be great to maybe go hiking tomorrow. I'm stating a desire. It's not that it won't happen. It probably will happen if I say it would be great to do some hiking tomorrow. It would be great to try a new restaurant. I'm sick of the place we've been going to. It would be great to try something new. Fantastic. In that case, we probably will do that, but we haven't done it yet, and it's still kind of floating around in the air. So this would be gives us a feeling of it being not real, hypothetical. It would be great to have a new car. I don't have a new car. I would like one, and so it's a perfect way to describe that. Maybe I will get one, maybe not. It's not really about whether it happens or not. It's about the fact that I want that to be true. Now, how about one that's more formal? I aspire to, for example, we could say I aspire to visit maybe. Especially write, create, something that you could achieve in your life, an achievement. Is visiting somewhere an achievement? Maybe. So if you say that, that's fine. This aspire feels more formal when we use it. There's a formality to it that's not the same as these two. And there's something else that's different. If we say aspire, we are talking about a future goal. With these first two, we're saying things that may or may not happen in the future. And we're talking about also things in the present that are true that we wish were different. But this one, we're not talking about the present. Aspire to is about the trajectory of the future. if I do these steps, maybe it will happen. It's a goal, it's an aim, it's a target, right? So that is a major difference, besides the fact that it feels more formal when we use it. I aspire to write fiction novels in my retirement. That's what I would like to do. I aspire to be an author someday. I'm going to work hard and plan for that and put in the effort to get there. It's a goal, it's a target. If you say aspire, it suggests that you're not going to do nothing about it. If you say it would be great to be an author someday, I don't know if you're going to do anything about that or not. Maybe you're just saying that and you don't plan on taking any action. Okay, great. So you're just telling me what you want to happen, maybe, in your imagination. I aspire to become an author. Oh, so you're putting a plan in place. You're working on that. So the feeling is very different. Okay, how about this? Someday, I hope I can. You could say, I hope I can. I hope we can. I hope I could is all right. And really, that's being not specific about time and talking about something that, again, may or may not happen. It could be about something that we're working toward, trying to achieve, trying to aspire to. I hope someday I hope. By the way, you can say I hope and put someday right there, or you can say someday first. Someday, I hope I can become an author. I hope I can someday become an author. It doesn't tell me about you working hard. It doesn't necessarily suggest it, although maybe you will. What it does is say this is a future wish. It's a little bit less than a goal. It's a little fuzzier than a goal. It's not so clear. My goal is to become an author. I aspire to become an author. Very clear. I'm moving toward that in the future. Someday I hope I can become an author. Okay, it feels a little more hypothetical. And for that reason, the focus is on the someday, which tells us that you don't know when it will happen. There's no plan about it being next year or in 2 years or in 100 years. Someday I hope it can become a K-pop star. Okay, well, there's a time limit on that, right? I think probably, 35? After that, it's not going to happen because K-pop stars are probably all under 35. That would be my guess. Of course, we can say my dream is to, and then you can say a verb, to open a coffee shop, to become a traveling dentist, whatever that means, to be a trapeze artist without a safety net. Your dream is what? To do something, to be something, to have something, to become something. That one's pretty straightforward. That is your number one goal, though. Usually dream is very strong. It means there's a lot of passion behind it. It's even more than aspire, probably. It's got a lot of passion and enthusiasm. How about I wish? I wish I had time to pursue. Now, for this one, I'm talking about the present and something that I would like to be true about the present that is not true. That's what we use this one for. Now, you can use it to talk about the future. You can say, I wish that our family will be happy forever. It's not as common as I hope for the future. I hope someday, I hope I can, I hope our family will always be happy in the future, is about the future. It's focusing on, emphasizing the future. I wish usually doesn't emphasize the future. You can use it for the future, but much more often, I wish emphasizes an alternate present. It might force you to or make you change your actions to make things different. But when you say it, you are thinking about a version of the present that is not the same in some way as the real present that you're in. So I'm very busy. I'm so busy. I work 80 hours a week. I have no time to pursue my interests. That's what I want to do. I don't have time. So when I say I wish I had time to pursue my interests, I wish I had time. It means I do not. It means it is not true. And once I say this, I'm stating a desire. Someone might say, well, what are you going to do about it? What's your plan then? Then I might say, I don't know, there's nothing I can do about it. I wish I had more time, but I've decided that spending 80 hours a week working is more important. And that's what I've decided to do. So I have no plan to change it, but in my heart, I wish it were different. But oh well, right? Oh well, who cares? Or, yeah, I should change. Maybe I can cut it down to 50 hours a week, and then I'll have more time to pursue my interests. Or maybe once I finish this thing that I'm working on that's taking 6 months, then maybe I will have time to pursue my interests. I won't be so busy. So it's not really about the plan. It's not really about the future. It's just stating the present, a non-real version of the present. Back to hope. I just want to mention one more thing. I should have said this one earlier. I hope I'll have more time. What would be the difference between I wish I had more time and I hope I'll have more time? Well, this I'll is short for I will, of course. It's a contraction of I will. And so it's telling us about the future. Something is going to change that's going to allow me to have more time, to play tennis, to pursue my interests. Now, I say I hope instead of, after I finish I will have more time. That suggests certainty, right? This suggests uncertainty. I think maybe once I finish I will have time. And that would be great if that happens in the future. So I hope I'll have more time when I finish this thing in 6 months. I hope I have. You don't have to say I will. You can say I hope I have more time when I finish this thing in 6 months. Then after that happens, I hope I will have much more free time. Maybe working 40 or 50 hours a week instead of 80. Okay, great. Then there is some aspect of the future there, but there's some uncertainty as well. And then, of course, the last one very quickly. This thing would be a dream come true. Living abroad would be a dream come true. Seeing Ringo Starr play live would be a dream come true. Has it happened? No. Are you going to do it? I don't know. We don't know, right? It's just a hypothetical. Total hypothetical. I don't know if it's going to happen. Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe there's no chance. But it would be great. I love that. It would be great if, right, you're just sort of having something living in your imagination, thinking about it, and maybe enjoying that little imagination in your head. Would be a dream come true. Suggests that you feel strongly about it. It's not a small thing. It's a big thing. Meeting someone, seeing something, achieving something, retiring in another country, living abroad. Those are usually big things. And then after you say the thing, then you say, would be a dream come true. It would be a dream come true. It would be a dream come true for me if, now that we've talked about all of these interesting, useful phrases to explain our desires, whether it's the future or the present, it would be a dream come true for me if now you go out there and start using what you've learned in your daily lives to put into practice everything so that you can communicate better. You can be more effective communicators. That would be a dream come true for me. It would also be a dream come true if you like the video, you enjoy this, hit the like button and subscribe, and also check out my full courses in the links in the description. Traveling to Europe would be a dream come true. Yeah. Travel Europe. Yeah, that would be a dream come true. We all have dreams and desires. What is your main dream or desire? I'd love to know. I'd love to know. Well, one thing that I like to do is I like to pop over to Reddit English Learning and take a look and see what's going on over there. So why don't we do that quickly? Let's briefly do that, shall we? Good old Reddit English Learning. Good old Reddit English Learning. I gotta figure out my Zoom stuff because I'm so frustrated with the zooming function. There's a way in and out. Gotta figure that out. I mean, I know how to. It's just not smooth. It's not. Anyway. Okay. Let's see what we've got. Avatar is coming out on December 16th, or Avatar comes out. Either one, both correct. Happy first day of school. On the first day of school, yes, the answer is yes. Let's see. Let's see. Could you answer this survey for an English teacher? Nope. Pandering to someone. What does it mean? That's kind of interesting. What does fair enough mean? Oh, that's a good one. I'm looking for one that really grabs my attention. Hello, everyone. Do you guys have a Discord English learning group that holds online meetings once in a while? That would be a good idea. Someone should do that. I was told that sentences that use respectively are usually confusing. Please tell me whether this sentence is clear or confusing. The table shows that although people in the UK and the USA accounted for 39 and 37 of your eaters. Yeah, okay, that's too complicated. Come on, Reddit English Learning. Make something pop out at me. What can you garner? How to learn witty banter. It's not possible. Ah, this one's popping out. This one is interesting. I like this one. Okay. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, this could be good. Stupid zooming thing. Okay. I have no versus I don't have. Hi, I'm just wondering which is more common to say. So if you're saying I don't have money, I have no money. I have no time, I don't have time. Is it more common with native speakers? First of all, both of these are correct. If you say I don't have money and I have no money, it's fine. I have no time and I don't have time. It's fine. But we have to kind of separate them out and understand what they're doing. If we say, I don't have, that can be followed by anything. So you can say, for example, it. I don't have it. That's a thing. What's it? That is a banana. that is a toothbrush. Hey, where's my toothbrush? I don't have it. I don't have it. Okay, well, I'm talking about a thing that is not in my possession, right? So you can use that very broadly to talk about things that I do not possess or have, right? Okay. Now, if we say no, then suddenly we're talking about a smaller class of things. We're now suddenly talking about a type of noun called an uncountable noun, or sometimes a non-count noun. Things like time, things like money. We don't count them. We don't say 1 money, 2 money, 3 money. So I have no goes in front of uncountable nouns, and we want to emphasize that it's 0. So if you want to emphasize it and it's an uncountable noun like food, money, time, milk, then it might be better to use I have no. Again, that kind of stresses it. I have no time. I have no money. I have no milk. Emphasizing the lack of it. Emphasizing that there is none, right? But again, you couldn't say, I have no banana, usually. It sounds weird to say. We're talking about a thing, right? I have no banana. I have no, what's an object? I have no iPhone, okay? Grammatically, I guess you could say it kind of works, but it's weird. It sounds odd. I have no iPhone. I have no iPhone. Okay, that's a singular noun. It's a thing, and you don't have one. I don't have one? I don't have an iPhone. Suddenly that sounds much more natural. So, if you're talking about things other than uncountable nouns, like hope, I have no hope, time and money, things like iPhones, things like bananas, it's probably better to use I don't have. So if you're not sure which one to use, then you should always choose I don't have. Because I don't have can be used for so many different things, right? Now, what about countable things? For example, cups. Can I say I have no cups? It's odd to say I have no cups. We're counting something, we have more than one. I have no, and then you're saying a plural thing. I have no cups. I have no pizzas. It's grammatically, again, you could say, all right, yeah, it works, but it sounds odd. So again, we're using that structure I have no in front of the uncountable noun because we're emphasizing that it's 0. And we definitely wouldn't say it if it were a singular noun. For example, I have no iPhone. I have no cup. It sounds very odd. So there you would say, I don't have a cup. I don't have an iPhone. I don't have an iPhone, by the way, right? I don't have friends. I have no friends. I guess you could say it, but it's much more common, much more natural sounding to me to say, I don't have friends. And there will be exceptions, of course. You will hear sometimes people using I have no in front of countable nouns to really emphasize it, but as I said, much more common for the uncountable nouns. That means I don't have is a broader and more common grammatical structure. Hopefully that answers the question. Let's see what other people are saying here. Now we check the answer. I don't like to see the answers first. I think I don't have is slightly more common, but they're both correct. In that case, yes. As a semi-native speaker, I find I have no is more used with countless nouns. Uncountable. Countless, I haven't heard that phrase. And desires like I have no clue, I have no time, I have no space, I have no idea. Meanwhile, I don't have is somehow even less used, and it is meant for counted or possessed nouns, like I don't have money. I agree with this first part, uncountable nouns, but the second part is a little odd. Edit, I found out that I have no money is more frequently used since you can't count the money as precisely or surely, but I don't have money is still used and is acceptable. Yeah, I think that's exactly what I said. That's their edit after they did some more research. Native speakers often don't know they don't know why what they say is correct is correct. I'd note that I don't have any money is probably more common than either I don't have money or I have no money. I don't have any money is a good one for sure. I like that. If you add any, you're kind of doing the same function as no. They're exactly the same under most circumstances. I can't think of a situation where one would work and the other wouldn't. I can. I have no iPhone. It sounds very, very weird. I have no friends sounds okay to me. If you're really emphasizing it, sometimes using it for the countable noun as a plural, but still doesn't work. I don't have time for this. Sorry, I'm in a hurry. They're both correct and could also use I haven't got. Haven't got time? Yeah, okay. That works. That's fine too. All right. Well, I think we are going to call it a day a little bit early today. I have something I've got to do and something I've got to take care of. So usually we go 2 hours, and today we're doing an hour and a half. So just a little bit shorter, but I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found it interesting and useful. We covered a lot of things. We talked about using the word dream. We explored a very powerful pronunciation feedback system via Google. We talked about how to talk about desires. We looked at some interesting TikToks. What else did we do? We answered some very interesting questions. So we covered a lot. I appreciate you joining. We will be back, or I will be back rather. Hopefully you will too, on Friday at about the same time, either 11 or 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is 4 or 5 p.m. GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, and you can calculate from there. So come back on Friday. We've got a lot of interesting things to talk about. Bring your questions. If you have ideas about things you want me to talk about in my standalone sort of rants where I'm on the blackboard, let me know what you'd like to learn about. Again, hop on that Udemy sale. Go to cloudenglish.net. That sale is ending in something like 16 hours. That's the sale prices there are the best prices you can get, the lowest prices you can get. So check those out. Just make sure to click on each course that you see on my website individually and open them up in tabs. That's very important. Feel free to hit the like button and subscribe. That's most appreciated if you enjoy these classes. I certainly do. I hope you do too. And I look forward to seeing you on Friday. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.